The detention cell hummed with the low vibration of alien technology as Naz sat perfectly still on the metal bench, her worn backpack clutched protectively in her lap. Across the transparent barrier, 3 Zephyrian guards chittered nervously, in their clicking language, their gray skin shifting through various shades of anxiety. James paced the length of their shared cell, his boots echoing against the crystalline floor. "This is insane," he muttered, running a hand through his disheveled, brown hair. "We're just tourists, we haven't done anything wrong." The lead guard, Distinguished Commander Vextal, entered the detention area with the swagger typical of his species, chest puffed, forearms crossed in a display of authority. His reptilian features bore the scars of countless battles across the Andromeda sector. "Humans," he hissed, the universal translator rendering his words with cold disdain. "Your vessel was detected in restricted Zephyrian space. Protocol demands interrogation." "We told you already," James said, stepping closer to the barrier. "Our navigation system malfunctioned. We're civilian researchers studying stellar phenomena for the Terran Science Council." Vextal's secondary arms gestured dismissively. "Words mean nothing. We will search your possessions. Truth reveals itself through evidence." Naz's grip tightened on her backpack, but she said nothing. Her dark eyes remained calm, almost serene, as she watched the alien commander with the patience of someone who had seen far worse than detention cells. "Search away." James spread his arms wide. "You'll find nothing but research equipment and personal items." The guards moved efficiently, emptying James's duffel bag first. Scientific instruments, data tablets, and clothing scattered across the examination table. Vextal picked through each item with growing irritation, nothing but the mundane possessions of an academic. Then they turned to Naz. "The female will surrender her container," Vextal commanded. Naz looked up at him with those eerily calm eyes. "Of course." Her voice was soft, almost musical, as she handed over the worn leather backpack without resistance. The first guard upended the bag, spilling its contents across the metallic surface. Standard items tumbled out. A water bottle, energy bars, a small toolkit, some books. James watched nervously as they examined each piece. Then something else slid out from the bottom of the pack. Fabric. Dark blue fabric folded with military precision. Vextal reached for it with one of his primary hands, unfolding what appeared to be a uniform jacket. The material was unlike anything in their databases, some kind of advanced synthetic weave that seemed to absorb light. But it was the insignia that made all 3 guards freeze. On the left shoulder, a silver star surrounded by a wreath of thorns. On the right, a patch showing Terra, but not the peaceful blue marble most species knew. This earth was wreathed in the flames of war, with a single word beneath it in multiple languages: Guardian. But it was the chest insignia that made Vextal's skin shift to a sickly pale green. The emblem of the Terran Defense Corps Special Operations Division, more specifically the symbol that struck fear into the hearts of every hostile species across 3 galaxies. A black dagger piercing a red star, with 2 words that had become legend among military circles: Terra's Wrath. The commander's hands began to tremble. Every soldier worth their rank knew the stories. The Defense Corps didn't just protect humanity, they were the ones who ended wars before they began. When other species spoke of the humans' inexplicable ability to survive impossible odds, to turn certain defeat into devastating victory, they spoke of the Corps. This cannot be authentic," Vextal whispered, but his voice lacked conviction. Naz stood slowly, her previous demeanor shifting like a mask being removed. The scared civilian tourist was gone, replaced by something that made the air in the cell feel dense and dangerous. "Oh, but it is," she said quietly. "Serial number 7743, issued to Sergeant Naz Khalil, 3rd Special Operations Battalion, Outer Rim Division." James's mouth fell open. In all their months of working together on the research vessel, she had never mentioned military service. She had seemed like any other young scientist, brilliant, quiet, dedicated to her work. You told them we were researchers, Naz continued, her gaze never leaving Vextel. That wasn't a lie. I am researching something. Your species' military capabilities, specifically. The implications hit the Zephyrian commander like a physical blow. If a Defense Corps operative was conducting reconnaissance in their space, it meant the Terran military was planning something. And if they were planning something involving the Zephyrians. The recent attacks on human colonies near the Centauri border, Naz said, her voice still soft but now carrying an edge that could cut through armor plating. The ones your government claims to know nothing about. We know it was Zephyrian raiders. We know your military command sanctioned them. Vextal's skin was now completely colorless. There is no proof. I don't need proof for my mission, Naz replied. She reached into a hidden pocket of the uniform jacket and withdrew a small device. No larger than a coin, but its surface pulsed with ominous red light. I just need confirmation of your defensive positions, patrol schedules, and fleet dispositions, all of which I've been systematically gathering for the past 6 months. The device beeped softly. Data upload complete, announced a mechanical voice. Package transmitted to Sol Command. The guards looked at each other in growing panic. If the Defense Corps had been gathering intelligence for 6 months, that meant retaliation was imminent. The humans didn't wage war the way other species did. They didn't send ultimatums or negotiate. They simply arrived, ended the threat, and left. I suggest, Naz said, carefully folding her uniform back into the pack, that you contact your superiors immediately. Tell them that the attacks must stop, reparations must be made, and the raiders responsible must be handed over for trial. And if we refuse? Vextal managed to ask. Naz smiled, an expression that somehow managed to be both beautiful and terrifying. Then in about 72 hours you'll discover why every species in the galaxy has learned not to make humans angry. She sat back down on the bench, once again the picture of calm innocence. Oh, and Commander, you might want to release us soon. My research ship is equipped with a rather sophisticated distress beacon. If I don't check in within the next few hours, my commanding officer tends to get concerned. James stared at his research partner, who was apparently one of humanity's most elite soldiers, with newfound respect and no small amount of fear. In the corridor outside, alarms began to sound as panicked communications flowed to Zephyrian. High Command. The age-old lesson was being learned once again. There were predators in the galaxy and there were humans. The wise learned to tell the difference.